Feet on the earth, heart in the moment. Let us begin.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Stephanie. So, how are you?
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got a cold again.
Yep.
I got a cold again. Apologies.
Excuse me.
Coughing and sneezing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Been a while.
It has been a while. It feels like it's been a really long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the show, which I filled you in on the dirt of the show.
All of the tea.
Yeah, so we're not going to go into the tea. I will say that, so it's Pasadena. And if any of our listeners are creative groomers, Lori Craig was there. Now, Lori Craig has been not around for a few years.
Yeah, like she retired and kind of
Yes.
like fell off the face of the earth.
Well, that's how it feels, right?
Yeah. I mean, I knew she was doing things, but like,
Right. And so she was there and she competed. She won. And she fucking won. Of course she won. She's Lori Craig.
yeah.
Right. So she's one of my heroes. And years ago, when I first got into creative, there was a couple of different like groups that was just kind of emerging. And one was the Creative Groomer Association. And I can't remember the other one, what it was called. It had a longer name. So there were the two groups. And I was actually a member of both. But I tended to be a little more active in the group with the longer name. Now, this group with this longer name, I wish I could remember what it was, IPCCG or something like that.
Bunch of letters.
Bunch of letters, right? and it was run by this person who she will remain nameless just because I don't feel like opening that can of worms. But they looked at things like from the safety aspect, which I appreciated, right? But they were very much against lightning coat, lifting color. And they called it bleaching, right? Which I think is the wrong thing to do. Like if you don't use the correct terms, people think, what, Clorox? What do you mean bleaching?
Yeah, or they imagine like bleaching like we do to our hair,
Right,
which is very different.
It is. So that wasn't, but I was getting kind of on board with it. Like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that. Like I have a white poodle. I don't have to do that. Right. So that's never going to really happen for me. But so I was looking at it like, oh, this must be a bad thing. And then of course it was, well, this other group, they do this. And so I was seeing things, that some back and forth stuff from different people from both groups. And I didn't get involved in it because I'm brand new to creative. So I just know that, well, that sounds terrible. I won't do that.
Yeah.
And I'll stay with this group because they don't do that kind of thing. And so I wasn't really allowing even though I'm still a member of both, I wasn't really allowing myself to learn more at that moment. So anyways, we go to All American that year and I'm competing with Charlie. First time competing with her. She's thing 1, I'm thing 2. And so, I do the color, we go to the show and we're sitting in the meeting, the pre-meeting where you have to sit to get the rules and everything. And I'm sitting next to the founder of this group, and the 2 founders from the other group come in and they like make it a point to sit right next to her. And I thought, well, that's kind of rude. Like, why are they doing that? Right. Like, why are they that seems childish, but I don't know the dynamic. I don't know the whole thing. I keep it to myself. So, again, there's all they pick at each other. Right. So I'm hearing a lot of stuff. The day of the competition, so that's Sunday, I got Charlie on the table and I'm doing the finishing touches. I need to write thing 1 on her. And I have an idea of how to do, or like what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it with mascara, but I don't really know how to do it. So I'm trying to figure this out, trying to make Sam understand. And of course he doesn't have the creative,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what the hell I'm trying to do. Lori comes over and she says, use this. And she gives me a paintbrush. And she tells me to dip the paintbrush in and then use it like a pen. And she didn't do anything for me. She just, try it like this. And it worked. And I thanked her. And it was like in this moment that I realized that, oh my God, this is a really nice person.
Yeah.
She's not what she's been made out to be by these people. After that, I believe that was also the show where the slap heard round the country happened, which I missed it. One groomer slapped another groomer at the end of the show. Yeah, that's good times. I'll tell you about that another day. Because again, I don't want to do names. But anyways, so I just realized after that meeting, like I remember talking to Sam after it, and I specifically said, I think I'm on the wrong side.
Yeah.
And he said, I think you are. And I ended up, I stayed in both groups because, I paid to be in the group.
Mhm.
So I stayed, but I really started kind of leaning more into,
Yeah.
the creative groomer association. And then I started to like be a little more open to Lori and Angela and Cindy Oliver and Adrian Pope, like the whole group of people and what they were doing, and realizing that, well, these are the people that are going to teach me things. They're not just telling me, don't do this, don't do that. They're actually going to teach me things. So I made a post and I said, hey, I seen Lori. It was so great to see her. And and I said, I just summed it up where I made a mistake years ago and she made me kind of see the light, and I really appreciate that. And I couldn't believe somebody commented about her weight. Yeah, and I just kind of was like, really? Like, you're making a comment about her weight? Yeah, it was it. I thought, God, that's gross. I can't delete it. I can't delete it, the comment. I wanted to, but I can't delete it. And then somebody else actually posted something about it being cruel, because there's always somebody that's gotta say that. But
Yeah.
anyways, it was really awesome to see Lori. I said
Back
she
up.
came back in and won the whole thing. So it was like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Hopefully we see a little more of her. Her design was stunning.
I'm sure it was. Yeah. Her work is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
So that was really cool.
cool.
What have you been doing the last couple weeks?
Well, mostly just I've had the student. We're in the seedling program. This is her last week coming up.
Is this the same student you had?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Okay.
going good. So yeah, she graduates Thursday. And then I've had the stuff at CLC, which is going good. They had their kickoff party for the LEI program, which is the neurodivergent program. And it was good and a little frustrating like the people that work in the program, they're amazing. Like they're so like all about trying to support these kids
Yep.
in whatever way they can. And I say kids, they are adults. These are college students. They're younger than me, so they're kids.
I gotcha.
So, but like, and you know, this time I got to meet a lot of the parents of these kids. And some of them were great. They were like, yeah, she's been coming home and telling me all this information that she's learning, that we're really, she's really enjoying it. And, some of them were really good like that. And some of them and there was quite a few who they were asking what am I going to offer in the future? That kind of stuff. And then there was a handful of parents so first the lady announced this is this teacher for this and this teacher for this, and we all had to just raise our hand and wave. And she mentioned I'm the dog grooming instructor, and so I did the wave, and immediately I saw it was mostly older ladies, like 60 and up kind of older ladies, all of them. Well, but they're
Not 60.
but they all immediately, you could see their eyes got all all excited. They were excited because they wanted me to groom their animals. And I'm like, sorry, I'm in racing.
I'm an instructor.
Yes. And the few, those ones, most of them did not ask me about the programs that I'm teaching.
No, because they just want to get their dog groomed.
The few that did were asking if their student was going to learn how to groom their dog so that they don't have to spend so much money at the groomer anymore.
Rude.
I'm like,
I'm teaching your kid how to have a career.
I'm like, your child is literally standing here and you're asking me to teach them to be your money saver? Yeah. No. I was like,
shame.
And there was a lot of good in it too, and I got to meet a lot of the teachers that are really cool, but there was just that really put a damp, and I think especially for me because I am neurodivergent, and I didn't mention it to any of the parents.
Yeah, that you are.
Because I tend to, especially with the older crowd, they tend to, as soon as they find out I'm autistic, it turns into honey, and I'm like, I'm gonna punch you in the
But
face.
you do so well.
Yeah, you
Did
do
you
so
try
well.
yourself?
I'm like,
Is your ride here?
I'm like, bitch, I own a business.
Very successful business, like you're like,
Yeah. And so yeah, it was just, it's fucking weird. Like, I'm like, you have your adult children here that you're talking, and like, there was one lady, I didn't know if she was talking to me about her dog or her son.
oh, ouch.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, because it was like kind of like,
Yeah.
it was one of those names where it could be either kind of thing. I'm like, I could see
Well,
either.
nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, and
Oh.
I don't remember what it was.
Understand y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Toby's my son.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like just one of those names where I'm like, it could be a dog or it's her son. What's her? And it wasn't one of my students that I know, so I didn't know her son's name. But I'm just like, are you telling me about your dog or your kid?
Yeah.
Like your adult neurodivergent child? Like,
well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, we deal with it in grooming too. We deal with all kinds, and they're everywhere.
Yeah.
We spend more time trying to educate people than we do sometimes, I think, actually just doing our jobs. That becomes so much part of our jobs more than the haircut.
Yeah. And me and Meg finally decided on our, this is coming out after our theme for the competition at Atlanta, because we're doing the duo.
Oh.
And so you're supposed to have like a team, or a team, well, you're supposed to have a theme, and you work on the dog at the same time. And
Is
you
this
can
a live dog or is this a bottle dog?
live dog.
Okay.
And so you can do some like a little bit of creative. It's more like salon creative kind of levels, but it's more about your theme, and you wear costumes and you can bribe the judges and the audience.
This sounds like fun.
Right?
Okay.
So our theme is K-pop demon hunters.
Win. You win.
It gets better.
We're gonna be there.
We're gonna be the Saja boys.
Okay. Okay.
Because we're gonna try to get them to all turn to our side. They're all gonna become demons with us.
Okay. That's funny.
So I got a bunch of like demon hunter photo cards and friendship bracelets, because a lot of times at K-pop concerts,
Yeah.
they hand out, like, everybody hands each other freebies.
Right.
So I got photo cards and I got bracelets and stickers that we can hand out. And I was thinking of either figuring out some sort of like thing I could do with my airbrush to give people one of the little
Oh yeah.
bunch of fucking tattoos.
I would probably look at
Tattoos would probably be easier. Then, like,
time.
getting everybody some tattoo, and everybody will have the little demon mark.
Okay.
And I also got a little button that records, so you can like record something, and then you push the button, it plays it.
Do they? I know they make something, because I remember one of the creative dogs last year was a Sholo with glow in the dark
Mm-hmm.
paint. I would do that, like, for you. Like, I would do a whole
Yeah.
arm like that,
Ooh.
and then like
That could be fun, yeah.
a black light would show it. That would be kind of cool. I have two black light flashlights.
Yeah, I wonder if I could find something like something for my airbrush, because I was gonna do a couple marks on the dog. We're gonna do just a modern cut because we don't want to have to like stress about something fancy.
Right.
So we're gonna do a real nice modern, and then I was gonna just take my airbrush and do a couple little of the demon marks on the dog. But yeah, I'm very excited about
Oh,
this.
that sounds cool.
I'm gonna be Abby.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't remember them.
So
I
Abby,
barely remember the girls. So
Abby is the one who is like super muscly.
Okay.
Abs.
Yeah.
He's got the muscles, and like when they do the fan signing thing where they're signing all he does a little like rubbing of his abs. So I'm gonna print off a bunch of copies of his abs. I have my man shirt that I wear to Bunko sometimes, and then a Hawaiian shirt to go over it. And then she's gonna be Baby. He's the one with the blue hair, and he wears like the Argyle sweater.
That'll be fun.
If I can get a bunch of tattoos, maybe I could have pet store direct hand them out too that day. Here's
We
tattoo.
need, we
Here's
need
a
our
tattoo. Here's
stickers.
a
We need
tattoo.
our stickers.
Yeah, I
Would you
really need to
please?
remember to do that. Yeah. All right. So now that we got off on a whole thing,
Well, we got our banter out of the way. That's good. All right. So the topic is the elements.
woo!
So let's see. When we talk about the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, we're really talking about different energies we move through every day. At the grooming table, these show up in our bodies, our emotions, and the way we work with animals. So I'm going to do a little description of each. So earth is about stability, body, and routine. So think of it like we stand. We stand all day.
Yeah.
This would be our earth.
Yeah.
It's symbolized by a triangle that faces down with a horizontal line through it, through the point. The colors associated with Earth are green and brown, and the direction associated with Earth is north. So, our air is our thoughts, our communications, and our nervous energy. So, we breathe and we communicate. Symbolized by a triangle that points up with the horizontal line through the point. The color is yellow. It is opposite of Earth on the elemental wheel. So now the elemental wheel is a little bit different than the directions. And the direction is east for air. So I do have a picture. It's kind of blurry, but this is the actual wheel. So you can see air, earth, fire, water. And then we have light in the middle, the divine, and then the demonic.
Right.
I don't use this, but it was in the description, so I wanted to print it out.
Yeah.
So I wanted to print it out. I generally don't use that, but I do think of like the points.
Yeah. I didn't realize that there was directions involved with it, because funny, my rooms up front are all element. So like the lobby is earth, the bathing drying room is the water, and then the grooming room is air, and the classroom
is fire.
Fire. Like, so I made the colors and stuff.
So technically, if you were going by the directions,
I think the grooming room would have been
well,
earth.
no, the grooming room would be, yes, the grooming
'Cause
would
that's
be
north.
earth. This room, your classroom would be air. So your lobby would be water.
Okay.
And then the bathing room would be fire.
Okay.
But
that doesn't make sense for the rooms.
It doesn't.
Especially because the water had to be in the bathing room. Like, it just made sense.
Yeah, you know how it is. We do what we want.
Yeah.
We're chaos witches. We do what we want.
I don't like this rule.
All right. Fire is motivation, stress, burnout, and passion. So we manage energy and intensity, symbolized by the triangle facing upward, the color red. It is opposite water on the wheel, and the direction is south. So I think of fire and south because it's so hot, right?
Yeah.
South for us is so hot.
Makes
so
sense.
That makes sense. So of course north would be opposite of that. Our earth is opposite of that. And then like the directions, I just know that water is west, and I think of the ocean, even though there's an ocean in the east too. I always think of water west, the ocean. So that, and then opposite of that is air.
Yeah.
So, all right. So water is our emotions, our empathy, and it can be like when we're overwhelmed. So we bathe and handle emotion, right? So we're literally bathing pets, but we also have to handle emotion. And it is symbolized by a downward triangle, the color blue, and the direction is west. That is our theme.
Yeah.
And just a little description of each.
Yeah. Outside of the directions, that was pretty much all I knew about elements.
About the elements. Yeah.
But I did put that into the school, that was a thought. So I don't tell people that because it's just not important.
Yeah. But I get it.
Except for in this case where it makes sense to talk about it. Yeah. And then I have my mushroom bathroom because I just like mushrooms, and a travel bathroom because I needed somewhere to put all my traveling shit. Also, I had random wallpaper it was like old maps, and I was like, this is a really cool wallpaper, but I need to figure out where to put it. So it went in the travel bathroom.
Fine.
So
who cares?
Yeah.
You can use it. Stuff you like.
Yeah.
All right. So tarot pull. I already pulled it. I
Cool.
hear what it is, but let me open it up. It is the sun. Okay. The sun, which is a fire sign, positivity, warmth, fun, vitality, success, freedom, enthusiasm, confidence, optimism, truth, celebration, marriage. So it's a fire sign. Definitely like the words here that I think about with grooming: positivity, warmth, fun, success, freedom, enthusiasm, confidence, optimism, celebration. I think of all those words when I think of grooming.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Sorry, my dog is
Yeah,
snoring
hear him. He's
so
making
loud.
loads of noise. So one of the things that I thought about here was like, if we mentioned burnout when we talked
Yeah.
about the fire sign, which is interesting because I just pulled this. So I put this together days ago, a week ago. Yeah, I literally just pulled this card today. So the fact that it actually
Yeah.
fits here is very interesting.
Yeah.
But burnout, communication issues, physical strain, emotional overwhelm, like these are all things that bring on,
Yeah.
burnout.
No, it's like I never thought about it, but it makes sense when you were talking about fire. You said motivation, stress, burnout, passion. Like I really feel like most burnout comes from a place of just like being so passionate about something and you just put everything into it because you're passionate
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you don't take care of yourself. I don't do that ever.
No, it's not
I'm a good adult.
relate to any of it. Right, but
So,
yeah, when we think about the elements, like our communication issues, so many, I believe, and this isn't just in grooming, this can be just in life in general, but I feel like so many problems really boil down to communication, right?
mhm.
Like I say something, you hear it
Yeah,
however you
we
hear
all
it.
perceive it
Perceive it
differently.
differently. Maybe you don't like my tone, or maybe I don't even realize I have a tone, but I do, and it comes off as
I I used to get yelled at for my tone all
oh
the time.
yeah,
Watch your tone. Then I found out it wasn't like my tone of voice. It was my overall vibe.
oh yeah, it was you, it
I'm
was
like,
you.
"Oh,
Thanks.
thanks."
Okay, yeah, I'll get
But
right
like
on.
I understand it's because of the autism.
Yeah, yeah.
Because but I didn't realize that
I
I was
always
autistic. So I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean my tone?"
I can have a very condescending tone
Yeah.
or annoying, like I'm annoyed tone when I talk to my husband. And I discovered what it is. Like when I want him to do something for me and I'll ask him to do something, or if I need to talk to him about something, but I'll bring it up, I'll have a tone. And well, I don't have a tone, Well, then I thought about it. I thought, well, you know what? I have this thing about me where I have a lot of conversations in my head with myself, and I assign characters, right? So like I'm having a conversation with my husband in my head about, we
Mhm.
got to talk about this. So I'm going to bring it up, I'm going to bring it up like this. I'm probably going to say something like this, and he'll probably respond with this. But so I do this, like
And so you already
I've
have
already
had
had
half
this
the
fucking
conversation.
conversation. So when I bring it up to him and he acts like he doesn't know what I'm talking about, of course I'm fucking annoyed because we've had this conversation a dozen times. When the reality is
He has no idea where this
no
is
idea
coming from.
where I'm coming from. So I do kind of understand that
I do
that's
that
something
too.
that yeah, that's the tone that I know I have, and it's because my brain is always moving.
Yeah.
Always, it's moving way faster than I can keep up with. Yeah. So I'm just
Yeah.
having conversations, and what do you mean you never heard this before? I
Yeah.
told you this, you know.
John actually had to have like a sit down conversation with me at one point because he's like, listen, I know you're not trying to be a dick, but like he's like, you get upset with me for not remembering these conversations. And I really think that I should remember these conversations. Like, he's like, I really don't think that I'm forgetting these conversations. Like, are you having these conversations in your head?
Right. Right.
I'm like, well,
Is this you and the other John having a conversation? 'Cause I'm this John. That's the other John.
I'm like, well, yeah, you're probably
It
right.
could be.
He's like, you're just like, it's making me feel like I'm having early onset Alzheimer's. Like, because you'll be like, no, I told you that. And I'm
You
like,
just thought about
please don't fuck with him that way. He's already panicking about turning 40.
uh, 40.
Yeah.
Ah, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
So the main topic is the elements at the grooming table. Okay.
Mhm.
So earth, stability and body. So this is our physical labor, our posture, our hands, our feet, the scheduling, money, routine. When earth is off, exhaustion, pain, rushing happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're standing all day, our backs, our wrists, our hips hurt, right? Are we physically grounding before we lift?
Yeah.
Are we lifting the way we're supposed to lift, or are we bending and doing things stupid, lifting animals we shouldn't be lifting?
Yeah.
Um, Never done that. I don't do that.
Never.
Never did that.
Never at all.
So where does your body hold tension? My body usually holds tension in my neck and my shoulders.
Yeah. That's where mine is the worst. I think a lot of groomers probably partially because we're like having our shoulders just naturally are gonna roll forward a little when we're grooming.
Don't tell Chris Anthony. She's gonna be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, she's gonna be so honest.
Maybe she doesn't listen.
You know what? Sometimes it's funny. I think about people in the grooming world. Like I actually thought of Chris Anthony not too long ago, and I was thinking, I don't know how I was doing something stupid posture wise, and she pops into my head. I think, so I wish I could draw. Like I would draw cartoons because I picture her as a nun with a ruler smacking me when I'm hunched over or something. So anyways, I just thought I'd throw it out there because I thought of it.
Yeah.
Um, so what does stable look like?
I don't know. What does stable look like?
I don't know either. But there was probably more to question when I jotted it down and I tried to shorten it.
No, I mean, I think.
Well, I think that's thinking about like grounding.
Yeah.
What is maybe stable was maybe it's just supposed to be what is grounded like.
Yeah. What
both
is grounded?
Emotionally and physically.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think physically, we're doing things the way we're doing things ergonomically. Like I have an electric table is not plugged in, so it's kind of it's at a good height for probably 90 or
this
more.
This is the third episode now that she's mentioned this, and she still hasn't plugged it in.
Well, so the cord is at a spot that it won't actually reach an outlet naturally. I'd have to attach I'd either have to turn the table or I'd have to use an extension cord, which I don't really want to use an extension cord, and I don't really want to turn my table. Although I think turning the table wouldn't be a big deal. I would just flip my arms. Like right now, I like this arm on this side. I don't really use the arms often, but when I do, this is the arm I prefer to use. And so I don't think flipping the table is really a big deal. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
Apologies. I just haven't done it yet. But so I think of that.
Apologize to yourself.
No, just do the thing.
Do the thing, Brenda.
I think that's physically, like using our tools properly and, being ergonomic as much as we can. I think of that when I think of like physical grounding. Mental grounding, I need to take the moments between the grooms to, catch my breath and, maybe whatever I need to do to bring myself back to balance before the next one, before, prepare myself before the groom mentally. And then when I'm all done for the day, give myself permission to turn off. Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I always really turn off. I tend to keep all that shit with me.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, kind of interesting. You're hitting a lot of the things, but like you're hitting like the more day-to-day stuff. And I was thinking more big picture of like having balance, like a work-life balance and having like financial stability.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Balance there, being able to, pay your bills and still have a little bit of fun. Like,
yeah, no, that's a good point.
Those kind of things. And it also, like, it mentions routine on this one, but having, just like a balance overall of your life, just,
yeah,
even the people that you spend time with, like balancing how much like you give to them,
Bunko Friday, you going?
No. Sorry. This time it's because we're having everybody over for pinball. They're gonna stream our D&D pinball game. So yeah. Otherwise I would have, but no, not this time.
Alex's house.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So
and it's what is it? The theme is Aldi, so like we don't have to dress up.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that's gonna be kind of nice to just show up casual,
Yeah.
So
no, I hope to go maybe to the next one.
Yeah, the next one's the flapper one, isn't it?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going. No, I should be there for
I
that.
bought a dress.
Yeah, I should be there for that because it's the first week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first Friday.
Yeah.
I should still be here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'll be just home from California, so it's like, I don't know what day it would of the week it'd be. 8th?
mhm,
April 8th, I think.
yep.
Right? Wait, is it April 2nd?
Oh no,
Is it the first Friday or the second?
I don't know.
Shit. Oh, no, but they did move it a week because the first Friday is Good Friday.
Okay,
So
all
they
right.
pushed it to the following week. So,
Yes.
yes.
Oh, another thing is balance. I've been having to think about it a lot. Is balanced meals.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so uh, yeah, so I did go to a dietitian because they sent me to one, and I really liked her actually. First of all, the office was very fat friendly. Like all of the seats were just big, and I was like, "This is great."
Okay.
And she just like she asked me about like what my current habits were, and then she's like, "We'll work with what you got." Like she didn't. I told her I'm like I usually eat like instant ramen for my lunch. And she's like, that's fine. We just gotta balance it with some eggs and, stuff like that. So that was really cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talk about balance for that. Made me think about that. So yeah, we need to be eating balanced meals. Yeah.
I mean, we did see a nutritionist last year and we liked her, but it started to feel like too much.
Yeah.
Like too many things and we were trying to do and
Well, yeah, and that was the thing is she's like, I don't want to overdo it. Like, for now, just work on making sure you get enough of these things. And don't go over this amount of things.
yeah.
Try not to go over. And she's not
I
like,
would I wish I remember like I have friends that have done like Weight Watchers
yeah,
and they do meetings and stuff. And I wish there was something like that wasn't that didn't have to cost anything.
yeah,
Because that's the thing. It's like I can't afford. That's like another thing that I can't afford. And not that I don't think people should earn a living doing these things because I do.
yeah, but it should be,
I just know that I can't afford it. So I wish there were just groups of people that could get together and I feel like I need support
yeah,
in, checking in,
mm,
but I don't really want to have to pay somebody
yeah.
to tell me.
Well, this is she's at Ascension. It was covered under my insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah, she like I told her that it's not about losing weight for me. I just want to feed myself right. With my limitations that I have. And she's like, that is fine.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna concentrate on
Good.
then. So
Mm.
um yeah, that was really good.
Good.
And then yeah, the whole balance thing made me
Yeah.
think of it because we need to make sure we're balancing
Absolutely.
our food. We should not be starving ourselves for 12 hours and then
eating chips and
eating 1,300 calories, 13,000
minutes.
calories
Right.
in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Like that's not normal.
Yeah.
All right. Air, mind and communication. So
Mhm.
client conversations, the mental load, overthinking. It's also about reading animal cues like their body language. And when the air is off, anxiety, excuse me, anxiety, distraction, and mental fatigue set in. So miscommunication disasters happen. We need to clear the mental noise between appointments. We need to slow our speech during those difficult conversations. And this is a good time to look at our breath, being aware of our breath.
Mhm.
Um, one of the things I thought about when I was pulling this together, which I wish I had maybe spent a little more time looking at, but like how can we use the elements? Like
Yeah.
obviously, fire, when I think of fire, I think of like a candle or something, but we can't really have candles in the salon. Not real candles. We can have those little fake little battery operated candles.
Yeah.
But like how are we calling upon, fire to help us,
Yeah.
do these things?
In a
Or
way,
air. Sorry, it was air is what
yeah,
we're actually talking
if
about,
you
not
can
fire.
I really so like blow drying, so using
Yep.
air, and if you can kind of make that into a meditation,
Oh, okay.
because it is very meditative.
It can be, yeah.
That's a good way to use air. in
Yeah.
our grooming is
Yeah.
turn that into a meditation, and you can be like, you're blowing off the bad energy. Don't
That's
think
true.
about how you're blowing all that bad energy into and swirling it into the air. Just don't think about that
Okay.
part. We're blowing it off. It just
It's
disappears
gone.
after that. This is my magic, damn it.
That's right. It is. That's right. Whatever I want. Means whatever I want. All right. So fire, energy and boundaries. Passion for work, anger, frustration, burnout, saying no, and protecting time and energy. So we look at like matted pets, neglected pets, missed appointments, unsafe or unreasonable requests from clients. And a positive, our fire fuels our creativity.
I think if we're talking about like kind of how I visualize like the dryer being air, I would kind of think of like your heart, general heart being kind of the fire with the passion.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and it goes
sometimes
beyond just at the table, like I'm thinking about what you say about like our work life balance and
mhm,
stuff too is having that balance.
yeah, having a balance of the passion,
Right.
because you can't put it all into one
Well,
place.
no, and I think about and not just like with grooming, but even like with the state of the world right now and the state of
Mhm,
this country and politics and being very impassioned about that and like not knowing what to do with all this. Okay.
yeah,
All right. And then water.
water,
Water. Water's wet.
word to water.
Emotion and empathy. Emotional connection to pets, compassion fatigue, grief, tenderness, overwhelm. So we think about like aging pets or our aging selves.
Mhm,
We also think about the literal bath, crying, and absorbing energy, right? And I have a little star here that says set emotional boundaries because I can definitely, just like the passion, the fire, and getting fired up over like neglected pets. I
mhm,
can also be very like sad and
emotional.
emotional, and like, I mean, how many times do you see groomers go, this owner sucks. I want them to give me their dog,
Mm,
or I asked if they would give me their dog. And it's like, are we really in a position to take on all these neglected critters or all
mhm,
these animals that we deem are being neglected
yeah,
because they're in terrible condition and maybe they are being neglected. But where does that
yeah.
where does that become
We can only
not really what we should be doing?
give to so much to those
My home
animals.
is full. I
Mhm,
can't take on anybody else's pets. And I get asked.
yeah,
I get asked sometimes. I get people that make comments about I just had somebody and it frustrates the shit out of me. And I reached out to somebody that I thought could kind of help, but somebody they adopted a pet and the pet had some mats and they wanted to know if I could help. And then of course at the same time they're, "Oh, I don't think you can help." Well, then why are you reaching out to me? But then the last thing is if I can't get this taken care of, I'm just going to put the animal down. And it's like it's not even old.
yeah.
And it's not an old animal. And you're going to put it down because it's got some mats in its hair like and you haven't even come to me. Like, right? Like you've already like and it to me it feels like you want somebody to give you permission to put this animal down because you don't want it anymore.
Yeah,
Like take it back to the place you got it from. It wasn't a shelter, it was a rescue. Take it back to the rescue. And I reached out to somebody else who volunteers for that rescue and I said, "Look, I'm concerned."
yeah,
And I haven't heard from this person since.
yeah.
And it's like it bothers me, right? It
Yeah,
makes me sad, but it's like I can't take the animal,
mhm,
you know.
and it's out of your control.
Right. I mean, it is out of my control. Like
Yeah.
I
No, actually, I think it was at Pet Quest last year. I had a lot of people asking questions about like, because I was talking about boundaries and a lot of people being like, how do I help these animals? They're all in such, and I'm like, all you can do is keep doing your job. Keep doing your job. Unfortunately, keep grooming those dogs because they keep coming in and there's nothing else you can do. At least they're getting some relief when they're with you. And like, you got to hold your boundaries. You can't take in every dog.
yeah.
And I think a lot of it too, a lot of people who get into rescue and like helping animals in general and sometimes into grooming, we tend to be running away from our own problems. And so we fill the hole with things to take care of. So
What do you
then
think about that?
Yeah, so then we don't have to take care of ourselves. And I say
Well, we
this
just don't
as
have to.
someone who has gotten
Has done it.
has gotten there. Like I did rescue, and I ended like there was a point where I had 15 cats in my house and it was too much.
What? 15?
It was a very small house.
We had 8 cats of our own, and I had 15
Ugh.
come in
Yeah.
as that we rescued from a situation,
Yeah.
and we managed,
And then
but
you
it
never
was
did it again, I hope.
no, but it was literally like you wake up in the morning and you gotta feed, you gotta clean,
Clean and yeah.
ours, them, and then, no, it didn't. I only had that many in the house for only very briefly,
Yeah.
for maybe a couple of days. Then a rescue came and took 4 from me
Mhm.
right away. And then the 5 adults that were left, we were able to find homes for. It took a while. We got them fixed. We got them, spayed, neutered,
Mhm.
rabies shots, and then, started finding them homes. We had one that we probably had her for 2 solid weeks, maybe even a little more,
Yeah.
where we found her a good home.
That's not too
And then
bad.
we had the mama and the 5 babies that we kept them for the full 8 weeks. And then they all went to Haws, and then
Yeah.
Haws took all of them. And then they were responsible for fixing and adopting out, which what a blessing that
Yeah.
was, right? So it wasn't like I had that many for extended period of time.
Oh yeah. It
But it
was
was even
months for
even
me.
with that, even having them just, as briefly as we had them was it was still like every
Yeah.
day. And then you gotta spend time with them because they
Yeah.
were unsocial.
Yeah.
So you've gotta spend time with them and to try to get them to where, if I'm gonna adopt them out, I want them to at least go somewhere where you could pet them.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to adopt a cat that they can never pet. So,
So,
anyways, but
um,
yes, I agree that
yep.
we have to set our boundaries, and and it's tough. It's tough. All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, and now it brings us to the elemental balance. So, which element do you think groomers tend to have too much of?
Fire.
You think fire?
Fire and water.
Yeah. Okay. I would say yeah, you're probably right. I definitely think water.
Sorry. It's funny.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's yeah,
Yeah.
pretty accurate. Water.
Sorry, that was a very quick answer.
No, it's okay. Which element gets neglected?
Earth. I think we neglect Earth a lot.
The balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grounding and the getting balanced. Yeah.
And I'm not saying all of us. Some of us are real
No.
good, but
But
as a general, this group, like
yeah, yeah.
groomers are in
We're
there.
speaking from experience, so yeah, I would agree
Yeah.
with that. Excuse me. How can awareness alone restore
Restore balance.
balance?
I mean, realizing that you are not balanced and you can I think then people tend to they'll focus on it without really even thinking that hard about it. They'll start to focus a little more on
Yeah.
whatever they're missing out on, or
Start paying attention and plug the electric table in.
someday you'll do it, Brenda. Someday.
I feel so bad. I had a list from I have a room off of my grooming room, and it's kind of been just a junk room, and I really want to like make it usable. Like
Mhm.
we talked about me setting up my own recording
Yeah.
space so that if we can't be together, we can still record
Yeah.
separate locations. And and that's the room I want to use. So I talked to my husband, I made kind of a plan. So one wall was 5 long shelves, like 6-foot long shelves, and it's just full of toys and books and stuff, like the kids stuff. And I usually bring stuff up when they're visiting, and then it kind of gets stored there. And then behind the door, there was other shelves that had bins and all my like photos and just kind of storage stuff. And then the rest of the room was just like throw everything in like nothing
Yeah.
else. So before I went to Pasadena, I emptied the room of everything except like the couch and the TV, like the really big stuff I left in the room. But I pulled everything out and piled it in my grooming room. And so the idea was that I gave Sam a list, like these shelves need to be moved over here so that this now becomes the storage space, and paint, put in some more lights and paint. So he brought home paint. He had all, going to get lights, going to do all the stuff. So I come home and I'm like, oh, I want to see, I want to check it out. Right. And well, bless his heart, he painted the walls. They're like the off white. That's fine. I mean, it's plain, but I figure I'll hang stuff up. It's clean. It looks good. I mean, he put in new lights, so it's definitely brighter in there. So that's good. But what he did in the behind the door is there were these small shelves and there were small tracks, right? Because there was only like 3 shelves. Where on that wall, there were these really long tracks because there were 6 shelves. I wanted those shelves here. Well, he thought I'll save myself, not take these short tracks out, add one of the long tracks, but now I still only have there's 4 shelves, but they're so tight together that I won't be able to fit the stuff on it. So he's got to redo that. But like I told him, I said that's my fault. I didn't like make it clear that it had to look like this on this side, or that was a priority.
Yeah.
Like that should have been done first because then I could move everything back and put it away. Where now, because I needed to get the shit out of my grooming room because I had to work, I had to just bring everything in, and now it's all in the middle of the room. So he can still work around because he's still got some other little touching up and stuff to do. But so now he's got to work around everything in the middle.
No.
And yeah, so I was like, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Because yeah, he did a great job. It's like, damn it, my fault. I wasn't clear on that.
Yeah.
He refinished a floor in our hallway and it was getting really dull. And I
Nice.
didn't notice. He sends me a picture a couple days later and I'm like, I didn't even notice. But we got a PP pad there. And unless
Yeah.
you turn the light on, you can't really see the floor anyways.
Yeah.
So I felt bad that I didn't notice that.
Yeah. What kind of floor was it?
Wood floor.
Hardwood?
Yeah, hardwood.
So he knows how to refinish those, huh?
Yeah, he's done a few hardwood floors. I don't think I'd ask him though. He's very particular, and if he doesn't do it right, like it's fine if it's at my house and he messes something up, he would not want to mess somebody else's stuff.
No.
Although
I would just
he did refinish. He used to manage the apartment building of where my salon was. When I had a brick and mortar. He used to manage the apartments, and he refinished wood floors there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't get paid enough for that because
Yeah.
they didn't really care. They just clean it and get the next person in. They
Yeah.
didn't really give a shit. And he does.
Yeah.
He gives a shit.
Yeah.
Anyways. All right.
All right.
We're at
Oracle pull.
your part of this thing.
Yeah.
The Oracle pull.
Here it is. I already pulled it. Nibbler picked it out with his nose.
Yay, Nibbler!
So we've got love. May you dive deep into your passions.
Pretty.
That goes with the fire, too.
Yes, pretty.
So, reflection. The sea is a seductive lover, embraced as a soulmate or sacred calling. It asks for daily tending, fierce commitment, and a faith that every squall brings a vital lesson. To love is to deepen your understanding of yourself with each turning tide. May tenderness and tenacity survive the storms. May your passions teach your exquisite truths. May your love yourself as fiercely as you love others. Love is a boundless force that guides me.
Nice.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. And it goes with all of the themes.
It does. I think so I've been trying to I've been posting every day
Mm-hmm.
in the Enchanted Groomer group and the Witchy Groomer group, and as well as like a couple Wisconsin groups we have. I've been posting something every day. And it took me a while, but I figured out how to schedule so that it was taken care of when I was gone. So it's still posted every day. But today was it's self-care Sunday. So I think that love, that self-love really fits with that theme too.
Yeah.
We have to take care of ourselves. You
Mhm.
cannot, what is it? You can't pour from an empty cup or an empty vessel.
Yeah.
So, we have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of the pets and our employees.
Mhm.
Which, like you said, we need to eat throughout the day.
Yes.
Don't starve yourself all day and then, spend 15 minutes eating 13,000 calories.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So the question I would put to the group is, how do you want to invite elements into your work, or how do you use elements in your work? And think about that. Please start sharing in these groups. You're killing me, people. I know there's people listening, but nobody shares. There's people
I
that
see you guys. I can see you're listening.
they like the posts, but they don't ever comment on them and share. So please, we want this. We want more
Comment on the
more
posts.
interaction. Yeah, like we're coming up on the end of the first year, and we're gonna, we have some plans, some ideas for the next year.
Yep.
But we would love to hear from you and to know what, what direction you'd like us to go in.
Mhm.
We can get together and talk shit all day,
Yeah.
but that's not what we necessarily planned for this.
Nope.
So we want to hear from you.
Yep.
So reach out, people. All right. As above, so below. May your pets be clean and your spirits glow. Bye.